Hey guys, Brian here. I just wanted to say a quick thank you for all of you guys that are listening today to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Couldn't do it without you guys, and absolutely thank you so much for the support and the love over the last couple of years as the podcast has continued to grow. If you guys are new here, we have a new podcast episode sharing with you guys every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you guys hit the follow button on your podcast player or mixer. That way you guys are notified anytime that we're sharing and dropping a new episode. Also, if you guys don't mind, if you guys haven't left us a rating or review here in the last couple of days or weeks, would absolutely appreciate if you guys were able to drop us a 5-star review, maybe even leave us a couple sentences, let us know how we're doing. That absolutely helps with the social proofing out there. So that way, if another lawn and landscaper goes out to the podcast blogosphere and they happen to stumble upon our podcast, they know it's a value-added show that can help them grow a better business and a better life. So thank you so much for contributing there. We can't do it without you guys. We're trying to get the word out. And if you guys want to share the show with another lawn bro or friend, we would absolutely be so grateful if you guys did. That being said, let's get back into the show. I just want to say a big thank you guys for listening to today's podcast.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Man, oh man, oh man. Where do we even start today? Well, it has been a whirlwind the last couple of weeks here behind the scenes over at the Fullerton household, the Fullerton estate, the Brian's Lawn Maintenance Companies, Motivated Media, everything that we got going on. Folks, right now I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, oh my gosh. I always say, like, does it ever end? Will it ever end? Do we want it to end? I mean, isn't this what we all kind of hoped for? Isn't this what we're all excited about? I know one time I said on a podcast, and I saw a reel or a meme or whatever it was on IG, and it said, I used to complain that I didn't have anything on the plate. And now that I have too much on the plate, I'm complaining about there being too much on the plate. And I'm sure the meme said it a little bit more eloquently and articulated it better, but isn't that the truth? You know, one minute you're broke, and you're like, man, I wish I had more money and more things to do. And then you have more things to do and you're not broke. And you're like, man, but still nonetheless, more money, more problems, right? As people say. And by the way, I can totally relate to where so many of you guys are at this time of the year in the season, because I'm going through it as well. Money's up, money's down, money's left, money's right. Accounts receivables, you should be shoring that stuff up. Please don't have anything more than, 30, 60 days out this time of year. Landscape jobs are drying up a little bit. We're definitely in more of a sell and dial for dollars mode. We're talking snow. We're talking fall cleanups. I have a Postcard Mania campaign going out right now for commercial snow accounts. I literally have an element onboarding a third or fourth meeting that are about an hour long each, talking about getting my snow templates and snow pricing and snow bids ready to go. And those are all getting zipped out, hopefully by the end of today, this afternoon. It is busy. It is busy, busy, busy. So if you guys are out there just scratching your head, sometimes wondering, like, when am I supposed to get all this done? How am I supposed to get all this done? Working 10, 12, 14-hour days, like, there just doesn't seem to be enough time in the day. I can totally relate. And maybe you're the opposite end of the spectrum. You're wandering around like, when's the phone going to ring? And I got nothing to do, and I'm going to go to the pool at 3 o'clock. Maybe that's some of you guys out there as well. So keep listening to the rest of this show and other shows, and we'll try to help you make sure that phone's ringing and you're busier than you can ever imagine. Wanted to just do a couple of things here today on today's podcast episode. It's going to be a lighthearted episode. Really, I kind of feel guilty. I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel like I'm dropping the ball here the last 2 weeks. I have not shared on a Wednesday episode anybody's weekly wins because, frankly, I bashed out a couple of episodes, had some great interviews. And obviously, as you guys can imagine, sometimes I'm recording a podcast the day before, the night before, and it's dropping the next day or the next morning, right? Other times you shoot a podcast and it comes out 3 weeks later. That's the exciting thing about content creation or making YouTube videos. You never know when somebody's actually filming them or sharing them. And, they just come on down the pike for us to consume later. And it's like one of the magical little mysteries, right? Of like shooting video or shooting podcast or, even like when you look at a Hollywood movie like Transformers or Mission Impossible, and it's all stitched together in a coherent, semi-coherent. Well, okay, Transformers isn't coherent, but anyway, story form. You don't realize that if it's 100 shots or 100 scenes or 1,000 shots, 1,000 scenes, right? The filming sequence is like 1, 78, 62, 247, 19, 63, 88, 12, 21, 16, 99, 100, 2, 4, 10, right? Like that's how they film it. But then obviously once the sequence comes together, it's all in a cohesive fashion. But how you film or shoot content and how it comes together in a final package is always like a fun little inside baseball, little trade secret, if you will. Like I never knew that. Sometimes I'll shoot a video on YouTube and I'll shoot like the middle and end, and then the next morning I'll shoot the beginning because I have no idea what I'm doing that afternoon. So it's not like, hey guys, leaving today to go do what? I have no idea sometimes what we're doing that afternoon because your schedule goes crazy. And so it's just one of those things where you got to piece it together the best way you can. So anyway, try doing that with your business, right? Maybe it is an analogy for our companies, right? Like, hey, you think you would find a great name, find a great logo, find some great colors, find the right truck, find the right mowers, find the right team members, find the right customers. But I guess in the exact same analogy, right? It might be like, hey, I bought a mower. Well, I need to upgrade the truck. I had this customer. Then I needed to get new customers. And then, I picked up this employee, and then we ended up buying a new truck to go give that employee to go start a second route. Right. And it's like all over the place. Well, that's just how business works. And that's just how at least my life works at this point. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. This is just where my mind's at. This is some rhodiola supplements talk, and this is an energy drink talk, and this is me up since 5:30 in the morning working out talking. And I'm fired up about life, bro. I have so much going on in my life where I love just dumping so much brain thought, if you will, and little mind dump on you guys for 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week. But at the same point, I'm like, man, I got to get back to stuff. But also I'm like, I have so much stuff to share with you guys. It's trying to find that healthy balance, right? All right. So that being said, unfortunately, I haven't been able to share a bunch of weekly wins. So that's what today's episode's going to be about. Now, here's a quick thing. If you click off, because you're going to hear me talk about other people having success or their weekly wins, dude, your wood's wet. All right, just stick around. Get recharged. Get motivated. Maybe you're sucking wind. I have been there many days, many weeks, many months, from multiple different times in my life and my career. So don't let your bad day or bad week or bad month or bad thing that happened today, make your wood wet, when somebody else is having success. Okay. The sun doesn't always shine on the same person, by the way. You'll get yours next, or you just had yours. Okay. One thing I heard somebody say once, if you're comparing like your worst to somebody else's best, that's going to seal your joy. And another thing, success is nothing more than going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. So maybe you just had a failure. So what? Go to the next failure. But don't lose the enthusiasm. Don't lose the naivety of what could happen in your company tomorrow, today, the next hour. You might get a phone call for that 6-figure account, landscaping or lawn and snow. That could change your business, change your company. Or somebody that wants to sell out and they want to fire sale their company off to you and give you 20, 50, 100, 250 accounts. It can change your business tomorrow, right? But it doesn't work that way if your wood's wet and you have a negative attitude. Right. And one thing, too, if you keep saying negativity with your words, negative words are like Roundup to your seed in the ground. Right. So be very cautious and be very careful of the words you say. Well, that guy gets all the other breaks, or that'll never happen to me. Folks, that's Roundup. That's poison for your seed in the ground. All right. So let's talk about some weekly wins here. I'm really excited about this. I actually have a huge backlog that I need to work through, that I'm excited about working through. I got a couple of ours as well. And I'm really excited about sharing those with you guys here today. Before we do, give me 30 seconds of your attention. I just want to mention 2 quick things that I'm really excited about. Number one is the whole ball of wax promotion that we have going on through the month of August. We've got about half of August left. If you guys want a ticket to Launchpreneur Academy Live 2024, a live event this November, essentially for free, because we're giving it away with a purchase of the whole ball of wax here in the month of August. And not only that, and this is crazy, but we're also giving you $250 off the bundle. All right. How cool is that? I believe the promo code LAL2024 is what gets you that code. If I'm wrong, Bethany, my assistant, will probably kill me. I apologize. I probably know that stuff. She's the one that set it up. She's coming up with all these great ideas. And I'm like, yes. Folks, it's not to make a buck. It's anything to incentivize and just jog the memory where somebody out there says, dude, that's a freaking good deal. That's a hell of a deal. I'm going to go check out LAL and get the whole ball of wax. Or I've always been wanting to get the whole ball of wax and to get a free ticket to LAL. Yes. And save $250. Folks, I'm telling you, anything we can do to just get you to LAL, I'm telling you, it's going to be worth your time, worth your investment. A gentleman was just emailing me let me see here on my computer about 20 minutes ago. His name is Christopher. He's coming from Canada. The dude is super pumped up. He's going to be booking, actually buying the whole ball of wax, getting his ticket. Then he wants to pay a la carte for the Jeff Joyner class, which is a separate investment there. And they said, absolutely, we'll facilitate that. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. Just a couple weeks ago, the Eikenberry team, they bought 7 tickets. They're bringing the whole team. They're bringing the whole crew. Okay, so if you did not get your LAL 2024 tickets, we're excited to have you there. We cannot wait to see you guys this November. So that was number one. Number two, let me just get the promos out of the way. I might as well just get them all done and then we talk about your guys' success. One thing I'm super pumped about and really, really honestly humbled about is we're quickly approaching 200 members, part of Link. And that is phenomenal. To be totally honest with you, I didn't know if this thing would be 30 people, 50 people, 2,000 people. Hard to say, hard to know. But I want to just put myself out there. And one thing that I'm really, really excited about is the community that we're building with so many other like-minded individuals that are on the grow, that are in the middle, that have $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 gross revenue businesses, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million businesses, and they're aspiring to go to the next level. And we're all sharing notes and having a great conversation, tons and tons of comments and discussions and threads, if you will, on our Facebook group. Then also you get the weekly live streams, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then once a month, we have our big dog guest. And just last week, we were talking Christmas lights with Rory, with our Patriot Lawn Specialist, and Jeremiah with Growing Green, just talking Christmas lights for an hour and 15 minutes. Like phenomenal stuff. And Jeremiah and Rory just brought literally meat and potatoes, X's and O's, numbers, where to get it, how much, what to install, all this mess. And I'm like, you're getting this? This is just one live stream. And I'm like, you get 4 or 5 of these things a month, plus all the previous replays that we've recorded for 7, 8, 9 months now. I'm like, this is just like ridiculous deal. In fact, this fall, I'm definitely raising the price on it. That is a fact. $29 is a steal. That'll probably be after about November, December. We're going to raise that price for sure. Not to make another buck on it, but just to keep it as exclusive as possible. If you guys want to join, we'd love to have you. We're closely approaching 200 members, and I just can't be more thankful, more humbled. Again, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you guys and finding a safe place to ask questions, be heard. I don't care if it's, hey, how do you sharpen a lawnmower blade? Or, hey, how do you deal with a difficult HOA that is worth $60,000 and you don't want to mess this one up? How do you bid lawn and snow on it? We are there to help you. Okay, so if you have not checked out Link, check it out today. Go to launchpreneuracademy.com/store. Check out the Link membership. And we don't sandbag. We don't hold anything back. As soon as you join, you get all the previous sessions, all the previous Facebook posts. Everything's in there. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks so much for taking a chance on that thing. And you guys really making it special who are part of Link. It's a phenomenal group. And I'm telling you, I check it once a day, every couple of days, if you will. And I'm learning every time there's a guest, every time there's a thread, every time there's a post. It's just a phenomenal resource. So want to just talk to you guys about that. Super awesome time. Guys, if you want to join something that's like totally transparent, totally humble, an encouraging group, something that's different out there, and get your questions answered in a safe environment where people are going to blambast you like they do in other public Facebook groups, then that's where Link is, and that's what Link is for you. All right. So super pumped up about that. Actually, I got a couple of our weekly wins are from some of the folks in the Facebook group. So I wrote down some of those. Hopefully those folks don't mind me sharing. All right, well, let's do this. We're going to talk about some weekly wins today. It's going to be a different kind of an episode. I want to talk about you guys. I want to talk about your guys' success. I'm probably going to banter a little bit in between here with some of the stuff that we have going on in our life, but let's keep it going. Let's hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, guys, and we're going to come right on back.
Attention lawn care pros. You're invited to the biggest event of the year, Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2024. November 2nd in Novi, Michigan. Whether you're just starting or scaling up, this is the place to be. Join us for an action-packed day with expert sessions on cash flow management, business automation, client retention, marketing, and more. We've lined up an incredible roster of speakers to help you elevate your business, including Sam Rankin,
Pat Murray,
Ken Deemer,
Brian Fullerton,
Sam Gimbel,
Mark Bradley,
and Jeff Joyner. You'll network with like-minded pros, enjoy exciting giveaways, and get ready to take your business to new heights. Don't miss our Friday night mixer for some fun and camaraderie before we get down to business. And of course, that's not all. Extend your learning with our exclusive Sunday masterclass sessions on November 3rd. Limited to just 20 seats each, these in-depth 3-hour sessions feature Jeff Joyner,
Mark Bradley,
and Sam Gimbel. This is your chance to get personalized insights and strategies from the best in the business. Details on attending the masterclass sessions are available at lawentrepreneuracademy.com. There is an additional charge for these classes, and they will sell out fast. Tickets for the main event on Saturday are $249 until September 17th, then $297. Visit lawentrepreneuracademy.com to grab yours now and look into securing your spot for the masterclass sessions on Sunday. I'm telling you, don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to level up and connect with industry leaders. See you in Novi this November. There's a special link in the show description.
Thank you to our sponsors, Xmark, Boss, Short Track, and LMN.
Entrepreneur Academy Live 2024.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump back into it here. One quick thing I wanted to mention, one other little promo item. If you guys have not checked out the Branded Bull podcast that my brother Adam and myself are putting together, Adam and Lauren, his business partner, started Branded Bull websites, SEOs, branding, so much more. That podcast episode drops every Tuesday. We do a little, we're calling it 2-Minute Tuesday, but it's quickly turning into about an 8 to 10 minute show. Shocker. But tons of great tips and ideas about how to grow marketing and branding and just dial in your company. So if you guys have not checked out the Branded Bull podcast, we'll leave a link in the description. Check that out. My brother and I are putting a lot of time and effort into that. It's just a value add. There's no pitch. There's no sponsors. There's no sell-in. It's just literally Adam and myself answering FAQs about marketing, branding, SEO, Google reviews, websites, listings, everything we can to just pour it out there. So if you guys have not checked that out, I invite you guys to check that out at the Branded Bull podcast. It's all black screen with the white bull logo. A lot of you guys have seen it. And if you guys do need a website and all that mess, check out brandedbull.com. All right, let's do this really quick. Let's jump into some weekly wins. Here's just a few that I was able to capture and write down. And again, forgive me. Some of you guys shared these with me about 2-3 weeks ago. And unfortunately, I have just been swamped, busy. And all of our shows have already been kind of pre-recorded and batched out. All right, so here is a big win. Somebody added a second trailer to his fleet. I forget the gentleman's name. Oh my God, how embarrassing to kick off with that. But the gentleman added a second trailer to his fleet. That was really exciting. Elite Lawn Services. I believe it's Jeremiah, a different Jeremiah. I think he's over in Minnesota or Pennsylvania. He's somewhere in the Midwest. He's in the continental United States. But here's his weekly win. He finally put decals on his truck almost a year after buying it. That's awesome. Another one here, CJ's. He said, I've learned so much just being with this group. That was his weekly win. He had a bunch more there, but I wasn't going to share all that. Andrew Stahl, his pruning testimony. Oh, this one I had to share really quick. This was from a couple of weeks ago. Well, let me rephrase this. 2 months ago, Andrew was asking questions about pruning pricing, and he was giving away the farm. Younger guy, 18, I think, year old kid. Maybe, no, he's like 23 or 24. He looks like he's 18. I think that was the joke from our live stream, right? And he was doing a prune job for like $150, $200, maybe $300. And a lot of great guys commented, because I don't do as much pruning, admittedly, as some of the other folks in the group. And we're saying, dude, you're basically giving it away. Like, you need a half-day rate or a full-day rate, $675 to $725, or $1,500 for a full-day rate for a two-man team pruning, all this other mess, plus dump fees and all this other conversation. And frankly, he had a couple weeks later, or a week or two later only, had another prune job lined up where he bid it for like $650 or whatever the story was. And then I think he did a little bit of mulch with it as well. And basically, homie was able to charge, let's say $1,000 for a job that he would have did 2 weeks prior for probably a third of the price. Talk about profit. Talk about changing the game. Talking about breaking the 4-minute mile in your business. If you guys don't know what the 4-minute mile is, was it Roger Bannister? Old story. It's a classic. A lot of sales guys talk about it. But back in the day, there was a story that the human body could not run a 4-minute mile. It was like physiologically impossible, right? Like folks were like, no, 4:10, 4:15, running a mile lap. Like right now, my lap time for a mile is probably about 32 minutes on a good day. That's running downhill. That's Lucas Blumling pushing me in a wheelchair downhill. Both of us combined at 32 minutes, okay? So that's about what I run my Mulligan 5K at Equip Expo. If you guys want to hang out with myself and other people that think they're athletes, come hang out Wednesday morning at like 6 a.m. and come run the city and the Kentucky Bridge. or somebody, bring some donuts at least for me at the finish line. But anyway, the 4-minute mile with Roger Bannister, it was some dude who's probably named Roger, and he ran the mile in, let's say, 4 minutes or 3:59 or whatever it was. And this 4-minute ceiling, this glass ceiling, was held for forever, right? Dozens of years, decades, if not hundreds of years, right? Like the physiological human body cannot do it. It's just out of capacity, can't do it. And this dude broke the record. It wasn't, but like, I think the story was a week later, somebody else did it. 2 weeks later, somebody else did that. And now literally there's high schoolers, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are running 4-minute miles. Excuse me. And not only are they running 4-minute miles, but there's folks running 2 miles in 7 minutes and 58 seconds, right? Like crazy stuff, crazy numbers. So they broke the norm. They dismantled this false truth, this self-limiting belief that, you can only run a mile in 4 minutes or 4 minutes plus, right? Like how cool is that? So imagine Andrew, what's that's going to do for his company when he can now say in command, hey, I used to do a printing job for $150 and my day rate is $1,500 or a half a day rate for $750. And, he's getting $125 per yard of mulch installed versus, $60. Like, what do you think that does to his, let's extrapolate that out, right? Think about future budget projections and cash flow projections. That dude with that mental thought, that billionth of a volt, his belief going through the roof that when he gave that customer a price and they said yes, what do you think that did to the trajectory of his income over the next, let's say he's got a 30-year career in lawn and landscaping? Do you think that little conversation and folks weighing in, nobody beating him up, of course. We're all in this community together. We're on a Zoom. We're all talking, bantering, having fun, cutting up. Of course, a lot of you guys are part of the group. We have fun and, razz each other. And because we're starting to make friends, after about 3 to 6, 9 months doing this thing together. And the amount of money that is now available to him mentally, and then he's just got to go get it in the physical. We're talking millions, multi-millions. That's just with one service, right? Like how cool is that? So big shout out to Andrew. I know that's a little thing, but it's a little big thing. Talk about breaking the 4-minute mile there. And by the way, I had one of the exact same epiphany moments when Keith Kalfas was at, here's a plug for you, Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2019, his very first one. And Kalfas did the Know Your Worth talk. Literally, I remember the following week going out there. I was still in the field, running my lawn and landscape company myself, solo, or maybe it was Rob and I, 17, 18-year-old Rob. And I remember doing a 3 or 4 or 5 cleanups on a row in a subdivision down a court. And I would have charged $225, $250, $275 for all 4 or 5 of these. And I literally give our customers range. Hey, it's going to be this to this much amount. And I just literally was like, what am I doing? I'm not making any money doing these. They take forever. All the normal conversation about fall cleanups. And I remember going back to all those customers and saying, hey, this year's price is going to be $350, $375, $4, $4.25 for all of them. Guess what? They all said yes. I made 30, 40, 50% more money that week for real. I remember doing like $3,500 or something that week versus maybe they'll make, in a day or two versus making half of that in the same amount of time. And I remember literally going, dude, I remember what I made last year and not thinking it was enough. And now I just made $3,400 or whatever it was. Like absolutely crazy. And, back then the LAL ticket was $179. Today, 5 years later, post-COVID, crazy inflation, the ticket price is now $249. I mean, give me a break. So $75 more. But just that one thought, just the 2 days of doing leaf cleanups made me an extra $1,500, let's say. I think that was worth $179. By the way, how do you think I price my leaf cleanup jobs now? At those prices or above. Every time we do a leaf cleanup, I'm like, hey, this is going to be $750, $925, $1,400 versus I would have been like, hey man, $275. What do you think? No, that's too much. Okay, no problem. We'll do it for $197. No way, bro. The conversation needs to go the other way. Okay, those are just 2 small examples. Kalfas breaking the 4-minute mile for me, and a lot of guys weighing in on the link live for Andrew with his printing testimony. How cool is that? All right, let's keep going. I love these conversations, folks. This is winning. This is folks making money. This is folks making more money. Not only making more money, but likely doing it in less time to be able to get these things done. So more money in less time and probably having more fun. Do you think, let me ask you this, Andrew doing that job, making $1,000 that day, or Andrew doing the same job, making $300 that day, how happy do you think Andrew is? How excited do you think Andrew is? I think Andrew's probably a level 8, 9, 10 excited versus before he was probably kicking rocks and kicking himself saying, dude, what are you doing? Is this even worth it? Can I even grow a real business? Is this a career for me? Man, what an exciting conversation. This gets me pumped up. It's not stage talk. This is not me just being Mr. Motivation on a podcast. This gets me fired up because now I start thinking to myself, I'm like, what am I doing? Where else can I improve? All right, let's keep going. Carter Verdode. Carter, I always mess up your with your last name, but I think it's CV Landscaping. He said, we finished a $2,500 landscaping project last week. And I think that's a big deal project for him. It's a big deal project for anybody. So Carter, congratulations to that. Johnny, and Johnny asked to remain anonymous, but, last name anonymous, but he said, sitting on a beach the same beach this time last year where I decided to change the name and focus on services offered. More lawn treatments. As of yesterday, I'm up on treatments 46%. I set a personal best solo week of $8,667 and a $25,000 month, 100% solo. And I'm on family vacation right now. Dude, that is incredible. Like, great job. Super proud of you, Johnny. I love numbers like that. All right, somebody here said, you mentioned about weekly wins. You don't have to mention this in your podcast, but my YouTube channel, Victor's Mowing and More, hit 150 subscribers. That isn't much for you, but it's an accomplishment for me. So everybody go subscribe to Victor's Mowing later tonight. Let's get him another 150 subscribers. And you know what, Victor's Mowing? I will take another 150 subscribers today. That is a big number for me. I will take 150 anything extras right now. Dollars or 100,000s. Just having fun. But dude, that's awesome. That's super awesome. I counted every single subscriber. I still count every single subscriber. Now, admittedly, I don't look at it every single day because the numbers are bigger. But if you're not watching 150 somethings coming in or out of your business or somebody on your team, then you're likely having fraud, waste, and abuse. You're likely not paying attention to numbers that are actually very incredibly important to your company and your growth. And you have to stay focused on all those little details. So I will notice 150 subscribers growing on my channel. I will definitely notice 150 views on an Instagram reel or 150 likes on a post. Absolutely. So, dude, congratulations to you. My first year, it took me a year to go to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So don't, discredit 150, dude. That's incredible. You keep that pace and you're going to outpace me on your first or second year, whatever it is, of YouTube. So that's awesome, man. Great job. Another gentleman out there, Big D. A lot of you guys know Big D's Lawn and Landscape, I think it is. I think he is over in Minnesota or whatnot. Took him 5 years, but he finally had his first crew go out without him. And it was the best day ever. He's like, literally, I cannot believe that they were able to go on out there, rock and roll. He didn't have to hold anybody's hand the whole time. And he was able to go focus on, I would imagine, other activities of his business, doing lawn or landscaping or office work or selling jobs. Like, how cool is that? All right, last one but not least. This one I'd love to share because who doesn't like shiny equipment? Who doesn't like new things? Tyler Cohen, C-O-W-N, Tyler Cohen. He just picked up a brand new 2500 HD Z71 package, black truck. How cool is that? So, Tyler, I don't know if you were excited. I don't know if you went to B-dubs after. I don't know if you high-fived you, your girl, your wife, your whatever, your friend. For me personally, when my wife and I got our new truck, we cried. We bawled our eyes. Every time we accomplish something, we cry. I don't know why, because maybe it's just the excitement, the folks telling you can't do it, maybe being the first one to trailblaze in your family. I don't know. Changing the stars, doing it for your kids, doing it for your wife, whatever it is. But, Tyler, I can tell you, my wife and I, when we picked up our new truck, the 2017 F-250, we cried all night, we cried all week, we cried all the next week, all the next month. And I'll still cry because I'm probably going to sell that truck here over early winter, spring. Hit me up if you guys want to potentially pick up Thunder with the truck and the plow. We're going to remove the dump insert, put it in the new truck. Probably 35, 40 grand is what I'm hoping to get over it for it. We'll see. But I'll probably cry when that thing takes off and somebody drives away for the last time. Right. So I know how much a new truck, the capacity. Now you can do landscaping jobs or pull a skid or pull a dump trailer or go plow snow, all the above. Or, by the way, how about this? You just pull up to a job site, you look the part, you feel the part, and there's an element of that fake it till you make it, if even need be or need to be said. And you know what? You just feel like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. I got this thing. I don't care if you're towing around a $750 a month truck payment. The payments will make them the payments with the work that we do and the work that we sell, looking the part, and it's the chicken or the egg. Okay, both are just as important. I don't care if you get the work and then, buy the truck or get the truck and then get to work. To me, it's all the same. Just keep winning, just keep growing. So Tyler, congrats to you, man. That's absolutely awesome. Super pumped up for you. That is so exciting. All right. One or two other ones. I don't know if I shared these ones before. Xavier, he's another member of the group. He hit $100,000 in payroll last month. That's a big number. Holy cow. That's insane, bro. So great job. I remember Vinny, he didn't share any specific number, but I remember Vinny with Maple Leaf, I think it is, landscaping. Vinny is in the New England states. Vinny was dropping bombs about 3 weeks ago about how they're doing flat rate monthly contracts with all their customers out there. And he was sharing some big numbers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing over here? I need to get my head in the game. So Vinny, congrats to all the success that you've had. I know it's been a transformative business for you the last 12, 18 months as he's worked on his billing system and all that mess with how they're offering their contracts. Folks, if you can't tell, there's people growing. There's people winning. There's people that are putting systems in place. They're educating themselves and they're figuring out how to make the industry and the business work for them. And for me personally, that's what I'm most excited about, is seeing other folks win. Okay, because a rising tide raises all ships. When other folks get in the business, they grow, they win around me, it encourages me because it lets me know I can do the same thing. Isn't that what it's all about? So let's continue to break in 4-minute miles. Let's continue to break self-limiting beliefs. Let's continue to break, these barriers to business that most likely are not even real. They're not even true. Okay, it just takes a little bit of a paradigm shift in your brain and in your mental. All right, get around the heat, get around people who are making those shifts, both at Link and both at Launchpreneur Academy Live. We'd love to see you guys at both or part of both. It's going to be a really, really good time. That's what's going on in our world. A lot of other great things going on, other things you can plug into, other great conferences, other great events, Equip Expo, all that mess. But this is the stuff that we have, and I know what's going on in these environments because we can control them, and I want to keep them Camelot, and I want to keep them safe. I want to keep them fun, and I want to keep them encouraging for folks that are growing, folks that are just getting in business for themselves, and they want to find and feel good in a safe environment. Like, that's what it's all about, because that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. I have questions I want to ask, and I don't want to ask and be embarrassed or feel like an idiot or feel like a loser. And so many other folks in different groups and environments, that's what you kind of feel like, right? So that's why we're trying to keep these special for you guys. All right. That being said, guys, that's our Wednesday show for you today. We're going to be back here on Friday. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. New episodes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to leave us a rating and review if you guys are enjoying the show, and we will catch up with you guys here on the next one.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Launchpreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Launchpreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LaunchpreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Launchpreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.
Here's a recent episode of the Branded Bull podcast featuring Brian and Adam Fullerton. Make sure to subscribe today.
This is the Branded Bull Podcast, a show dedicated to helping take your business to the next level with winning marketing and branding tips and strategies built for today's competitive world. Ready for your business to make its mark and stand out from the competition? Let's get into it.
What's up, guys? Adam Fullerton here with the Branded Bull Podcast, coming to you live in the studio with my brother, Brian Fullerton.
What's going on today? Good, man. Good. What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing well.
We're excited to share with you guys more information and tips and tricks in the world of marketing and branding and how it can help you, improve your business, grow the business, generate more leads, and, see success in whatever you might be doing and where you're listening from. So that said, on today's topic, we've got a really good topic for you today, and that's going to be all about professional imagery and what that can do for your business and how it can elevate your presence in the marketplace. And this is something that we've talked a lot about, Brian, right?
Yeah.
Just imagery and making sure you're using real photos, not just, hey, I took this from my iPhone, it's all angled, weird, and whatnot. So before we jump into this, what are your thoughts? How have you implemented professional imagery, and what has it done for your business, and why is it important?
A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? If you think about that, if your photos are going to be doing 1,000 words or quote unquote doing the talking for you, wouldn't it make sense to have the best looking photos possible, telling the best story possible? And so I don't want to make it any more complicated than that. I think professional photos tell the story. It describes who you are. It shares with who you're trying to attract. I just personally feel like a lot of folks can relate to the imagery that they see out there saying, that's my guy, that's my company, or I want my backyard to look like that, or my car to be detailed and look like that. Of course, you can get into maybe some of the logistics about how to up your game with photography, but it is something that just because you have an iPhone, number one, let's just start from the beginning. Maybe you don't have any imagery, right? Like you got an iPhone. iPhones are fantastic. The technology there is amazing. I think somebody said more recently, iPhones are more cameras that happen to make calls than phones that happen to take photos.
Yeah, for sure. In this day and age.
Yeah. So everybody has, the resource to take good photos. And by the way, you can make amazing photos and videos with your camera phone these days. So number one, start if you don't have photos. But number two, I think really taking it to the next level with professional photography and hiring a service or a friend that can do that for you is really going to put you in the upper echelon, because Adam, from what I've noticed is that people don't go from A to B very often. They take a couple photos, they put on their Google review page or their website, and that's where they kind of leave it. And there's more to be desired.
100%. When you start off, you got to do what you got to do, and something is better than nothing most times. But as you progress forward, you get more successful, and you want to attract the right clientele, like you said. You just got to become more professional in every aspect of your business, and photography is one of those. So the recommendation, guys, is whether it's marketing material, website, doesn't matter. Start with what you have, but ultimately upgrade everything, including your photography, because it's really going to resonate and attract the right clientele. And again, help that business grow.
One thing I will say is find the person that's out there maybe with a photography or videography business that you can hire. Again, one of the things you said a long time ago on one of the shows, Adam, I forget what show, but it was business and team sport. And you want to be, Branded Bull wants to be the partner for you guys out there for your branding and marketing and all that mess. Well, I cut grass for a living. Other guys are detail guys. Other guys have a medical supply business that listen to the show. Your background's not photography, videography. Find somebody out there in the marketplace, trade service or trade cash. Don't think you always have to pay these guys $500, $1,000, $1,500 for a video shoot or a photography shoot. Just say, hey, I'll detail your car for free. Cost you $300. Your cost is $80 in your time. But you can get some great photos and digital assets and video assets, and maybe somebody can make you some great photos or a great reel. Right. So I think that's really, really helpful. Define the aesthetic, the tone, the feel. Not just somebody's got the hardware, they got a nice camera. So what? Everybody's got a nice camera. Everybody shoots weddings these days, right? But to find the person that can edit the photos and the videography your way, your style that you want representing your brand, I think that's really the needle in the haystack. And when you do find somebody like that, treat them right, pay them top dollar. They're worth their weight in gold. I mean, again, like you always say, Adam, imagine one lead. We're always thinking ROI. Imagine one lead that comes on in and you're selling a $2,500 product or service. I mean, that photography guy for $900 for a photo shoot is beyond paying for himself right off the bat.
And you're going to have those, again, multiple photos for multiple reasons, from website to social media to flyers you might hand out, whatever it is. And, a topic that we can talk about more on another episode is like stock imagery. Like a lot of people use that in the beginning because it looks professional, but it's not a representation of their own business. So it just helps you stand out with your own guys in the field, your own work being showcased. And ultimately, like I said, put that on all your marketing material. You're now becoming a big company and how a big company thinks, their own products, their own services, their own imagery, and it's going to help you stand out. So guys, again, that's what we have on this episode of the Branded Bull Podcast. I know we ran over a couple of minutes, try to keep this a little bit shorter in the future, but we love sharing insight with you guys every single episode. So please like, subscribe, tune in, leave that review, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Branded Bull Podcast. the podcast dedicated to giving you expert advice and actionable ideas so that your business can make its mark and stand out from the competition. Like what you heard in today's show? Visit brandedbull.com to see how we can help you achieve your marketing and branding goals. Also, please consider leaving a 5-star review. And again, thanks for listening.